Hey pioneers, welcome back. Today we are celebrating reaching the 100 subscribers mark. It might not be very good for most channels, but it's a big achievement for me. And I'm going to be doing that by sharing all of my blueprints. Now, before you get overly excited, I just started with this playthrough and I don't have many blueprints, but still there's plenty of useful stuff. So I'll be sharing this. How are we going to be doing this? We will be using GitHub. GitHub is an open source free platform that programmers use all over the world to share their projects and to contribute in projects. But don't be scared, you don't have to install anything in your computer and you don't have to know anything. Still, if you have Git and you know how to use it, there's some special features that you can use, but this is not required at all. So well, how do you get your hands on my blueprints? Let's get over that. So we start by opening our web browser and copying the link that you can see in the description of this video. This is my repository. Now, one thing that might be cool to check is over here, the commits. This is the history. Every time I add a blueprint, modify a blueprint, or remove a blueprint, it will appear here with the date and some comments about what happened. Right now, there's only one commit because I just started on this. If you click on it to see more details, you can see everything that I added. As this is a new commit and I added everything in one go, there's a lot of stuff. But in the future, you will only be seeing the differences and you will even be able to compare it to the previous version. But none of this is required. If you want to get my blueprints, just click here on Code and click on Download Zip. And that's all you need. So you will get a zip file, right click, extract all, put a path. It doesn't have to be the game. We will be passing the blueprints after that. So let's first extract it. It will be in another folder with the same name, and here you have all of my blueprints. Now I organize them in folders. This is how I actually have them organized in the game, but in order to import them into your game, they must be all in the same directory. And unfortunately, you won't be able to have these categories. Still, in order to work with blueprints, I highly recommend doing these categories. We will see that later on, but it lets you switch among different type of buildings, making contrasting stuff really easy. So how do we get this installed? Well, on the top bar over here, click on it and write local app data, and another one. Here, search factory game, saved games, blueprints. This will be the name of your save file, and here is where all of the blueprints are. This is how the game needs them, so there's no categories at all. Unfortunately, I can't share the blueprints with the folders, with the categories, so you will have to do that by yourself. Still, what I recommend is, instead of copying everything in one go, do it in batches. For example, buildings, well, get these ones into your game, then enter your game and move them into a category. Then if you want, I don't know, the rail ones, you want the curves that go left, grab this one, import them into the game, and open the game and move them into a category. If you do everything in one go, you will have like 60 blueprints, and even though I chose cool names to be able to identify it, it will be a mess. But well, maybe you like the mess, so I just suggested do it in batches, don't try to be fast, because if not, you will end up with chaos. So let's check these blueprints out. Okay, so what are we getting? To work with blueprints, what I suggest is leave one whole toolbar for blueprints and then assign per category only one of them. Then in the game, if you're going to plop it and you press E, you can switch among all of the blueprints in that category. So what's the first one is this large storage solution. What we have here, it's a container connected to a container, connected to another one, 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 another one, and another one. This lets you store a lot of crap. How it's meant to be used? Ideally, you place several of these in a row. And you connect them with an MK, well, your fastest belt. So over here in the entrance, we have two smart splitters. They already have configured the overflow to the front, and then to the right, you will put what do you want to store. So for example, maybe in this one, we want to store automated wiring. On the second one, we want to store nuts, because that's really useful. And I highly suggest leaving a third one just for the rest. So in this case, you put any on both sides. So what do you get with this? If you have a container, you can connect it to both entrances, and you can store here all of your crap, and that crap will go through two belts and it will start storing them onto the containers. Now, if some of these get completely full, or if you accidentally send something that you didn't set a category for, they will end up in the last one. And just as a reminder, all of my blueprints will be the same. I'm pretty early in the game. My fastest belts are MK4, so this is all made with MK4. If you have faster belts that you probably have, I suggest first open this blueprint in the blueprint editor, updating the belts, and then saving it so that you don't have to manually change them afterwards. Now, what else we have in this category? Nothing high-tech, only different configuration of belts. That can be quite useful if you have to move stuff from one place to the other. Nothing too fancy. Now, what's my second category? Rail. These are the blueprints I used to create this huge rail all over the place. Now, to be completely honest, the moment I finished the blueprints, I thought I'm going to be able to build really fast. And it took me hours to connect the first segments. It needs a lot of experience, you need to know a lot about blueprints, and I could make a whole video into how to make that fast, and I won't be doing that right now. I will just give you some general pointers. So this category is more for the experienced player rather than the normal player, especially not having vertical nudge. If we hadn't vertical nudge, it would be way easier. Okay, let's make a quick walkthrough. Again, I recommend place one of each category in your toolbar. This will save you a lot of time. 6, 7, 8. So what's the first category? This is the top of the rail. You have different lengths, and by pressing E you can switch among them. Just something I want to tell about this. On the inside you have capacity to move a lot of different connections, and you also have this an hypertube entrance and an exit. The idea is that you place many in a row and you connect them to power. You will be going extremely fast. But don't be as dumb as me. I created this whole rail and I still haven't been able to try it out because this consumes a lot of energy. It's 1.9 gigawatts I think right now, or maybe 2, so I never tried it out. Once we finish our turbo fuel, I'll be able to get a ride onto this and will be a very happy moment. But for the time being, maybe I recommend make a blueprint without them, just removing this, and a blueprint with them that will be the original one, so that you can mix and match and maybe do 2 without an accelerator and 1 with an accelerator, so that you don't consume that much power. Now, second category are for the bottom part, and we have different sizes again. We have the same on the third category, but different heights. And on the fourth, the same, but different heights. What I want to tell is this one, the one in the middle, is not designed to stack many on top of the other because of this difference over here. It has 2 on the top and 1 in the bottom. So this is the one I usually use on the very end if I need it, but if you are going to have to stack several, better use either this one or this one. This can be stacked all you want. Oh, and another thing I didn't mention, they have a front size and a back size. As you can see, all of them are missing a column in an end, because the idea is if you plop another one of these over here, that column will get over here and, well, it will look nice. So what's next in the category? We have the ramps. We have 3 different sizes of ramps. The shortest one, I made a terrible boo-boo. It starts too tall and sometimes it's really hard to plop. So, well, I don't want to get over this. It still can be done, but if you are placing the blueprint, align it to the ceiling, not to the floor. You can build something, whoops, like that. And like that, and you can use the roof to align it. This is because maybe you can't align it to the floor because you're already too close to the floor. So let's erase this crap. What else do we have? We have curves to the right and curves to the left. And we have different lengths. So the idea is don't stack several of these, just choose the one that goes directly where you want. The biggest one ends up being 90 degrees. If you need less than 90, well, each one is a different angle, I don't know how much. You can place H, leave it over there and check, is this going where I want to? If it's not, you just go for a different length of the curve. And then we have some accessories. For example, you might need to add more power lines in the middle. These are the lights you might need to add in the columns with different lengths. And these are the top logistics because you might have to add some of these. So this is stuff to help you decorate it. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Still on the rails, we have the glass one. So let's use one over here, one over here. This is my glass rail that again, we have different lengths. I usually use this for materials. I do not like the color, maybe I should change it. And the other one are vertical ones that I have all of the length from 9 to 2. So depending on how high you want to go, you can choose it from there. And that finishes, yes, those are all of the rail blueprints. It takes a lot of time and experience to be able to work with this fast, so don't get frustrated. Maybe I do a video in the future, but I could spend a lot of time giving tips on how to plop each one and do it fast in an organized way. So now let's move to the other category. Okay, next one we have architecture. Let's put one of these and one of these. Now I have a column starting from the top, an asphalt column starting from the top, a column starting from the bottom, and well, I have a red one. What does it mean starting from the top and starting from the bottom? Of course, these ones can be stacked one over the other, but you usually want to align them somewhere. So for example, if you're doing a bridge and you want to support the bridge, you would use one that's starting from the top. So this size over here is centered. And well, if you are starting from the bottom, you would like to use this one. It's just a tiny detail, but it's pretty helpful. This one is the one that I use for the spider factory. I only needed this fixed size, so well, I made one special for that one. Now, the second blueprint, that is one that I love, is the transport hub. This is a transport hub with 4 entrances. The idea is being able to plop 4 different hypertube connections, and you get here everything organized. It still has this priority switch that's not connected to anything, but that's actually the idea. This is just if you need to turn something on or turn something off, you can do it from here. Why did I do it? Because right now I can't run my hypertube network, it's powered off. So I needed a way of turning it on or turning it off. And all of these switches that aren't connected to anything, I call them dummy. So here we can see that I have a lot of dummies. You will still have to put your own name. I think that doesn't get saved. Or maybe it does, and I didn't. But well, this is the hypertube network with 4 entrances. And I have one with 3 entrances. So it's simply a fancy way to organizing your network. Had to reload because it was getting dark, but well, let's continue. Next thing in the book is the decorations. Well, maybe we do that once later. So first we have stairs, the fancy stairs. But these ones are a little bit tricky to use because if you plop them, it will be kind of floating, and that doesn't work. So how are you supposed to use it? If you want to place the stair right over here, first remove the foundation, replace it with 1 meter foundations. And cut a slice on it. Now plop the stairs over there. And now you can simply rebuild your floor. And there you go, now it's aligned. If you want to place another one, you will have to do the same thing. From here, you would have to make it 1 level shorter and place it on top of that one. But well, might be a little bit tricky, but you can get it going. Yeah, not there. There we go. And then we remove this. Okay, the second one, we'll go over these ones later because we need either oil or a node. Let's go with the third category. These are simply barriers. I have 2 different for red, the light changes, and 1 for blue. Then next category, we have a light. Idea taken from Drawing Xaos. We have, well, logistics lights. These are the lights I use on my logistics floors, but you need to plop them. Let's do a demonstration. Let's assume that's the floor of your logistics. You need to cut a hole over there, and then you should be able to place them. And it will be aligned. Then what else do we have? These are simply some columns, red and blue. These are also meant, let's demonstrate to decorate logistics floors. If you're doing something like this and you place a merger, now you can go over there and the column should be the exact same height. But well, this was made for me. Maybe your logistics floors are from another height and this doesn't work for you. But well, you can take the idea and make them either taller or shorter. And I think that's all I have in this category, yes. Finally, we have the computer. Again, heads up to Drawing Xaos. I took the idea from him. This is just a computer. Looks pretty cool. Now let's get to an oil node and to a regular node to show the other ones. So here we're in front of an oil node. You first need to put an extractor wherever you want it to be. Then grab a road barrier and align it over there. Once you did that, grab a foundation, a 1 meter foundation, and you can make a temporary floor. Once you've done that, we can remove the barrier and we can place the blueprint. In this case, oil extractor. Now you will have to nudge it. For the oil extractor, we want the tanks to be on that gap. I think it would be right over there. And now you're going to need to remove the oil extractor and put it again a little bit higher. Now you can place the pipe. You need to connect the power. And there you go. You also have over here some signs to put some stuff. Here you can say we are going at 120% and we are sending 100 per min to our banana factory. And well, you can just add stuff. I like to have everything on signs. Now let's get to a regular node of materials. Oh, by the way, of course you need to later on remove these blueprints, these foundations, and make everything look nice. But well, that's kind of basic. And now, there we go. Why can't I remove this? Well, maybe I need to. Well, this hasn't happened in the past. Apparently I was able to build it, I'm not able to remove it. So don't do that. If you see that the foundation is getting too close to the floor, maybe don't plop it. Wow, this never happened. I think I can't no longer remove it. Well, stuff that happens. Deal with it. Here we go. We have a limestone node. So first we plop the miner. We grab a barrier. We align it. Oh, it's kind of elevated. This is going to be harder. And then we put the foundations. Maybe don't put them right on the bottom, put it onto the barrier so you don't have the issue I just had with the oil one. But well, we place some foundations. And now we go to our blueprint. In this case, the one for the miners. Now the only thing you have to do is align it. This is aligned. This is good. This gap over here helps us know if we are aligned or not. I think, oh no, I think I was correct. So now we plop our blueprint, get inside, remove the miner, and put again a miner. And the belt. And we go over here and connect the power. And now I should be able to remove all of this crap easily. Yep, that's how you were supposed to do it. And well, of course, you can make this go up to the floor or do any decorations you want. So, as I said before, I just started the game, so I only have one for assemblers. I will later on have for constructor, for foundries, for everything. But well, right now it's only assemblers. These are load balanced, so this blueprint already has 12 load balancers, 12 assemblers load balanced, and there's no need to use the floor. I like to use the floor, but you could simply use the blueprint. So how does this work? First, as many of the blueprints, you need to cut a slice on your floor. It's 5 by 5, so I already cut a slice 5 by 5. And now we will place the floor. Just nudge it into place. And once you've done that, here you can put it into blueprint mode. You plop the other one. Let's make sure it's aligned. Yes, it is. And here you go, 12 assemblers load balance. As I said before, MK4 is my fastest belt, so all of this is working on there we go, on MK4 lines. If you have faster belts and you need them, you will have to replace them. So what do we have to do in order for this to work? It has 2 inputs, one for each material and 1 output. So we have to connect those. Grab a lift and don't start from here, start from the conveyor hole and make sure it's snapping. If it's snapping, everything is correct. You have to do the same thing on the other side, starting from here and see that it's snapping. And you have to do this for the output. Make sure that it's snapping. Then regarding power, everything is already connected. I usually feed the power from below, so this is my way of doing it. You can copy it from what I'm doing on the top. This is how it would look like. So if you have a logistics floor, you would have to build something similar to this and put the wire going down. Of course, we still have to handle this part. So you can simply delete. Well, maybe delete it like that. Connect the belt. And we can copy and paste. I usually go through there because if you remove the glass, sometimes it's hard to put it again, but maybe you can just remove the glass. You also have to do it on the front. Let's see if removing the glass it's easier or not. You connect it over there. Boop. You connect this one. And yeah, if you aim to the top, you will have no problem. If you aim there, it will look ugly. But just aim to the top and you can get the glass back. Yes, this way is easier. And there you go. 12 load balanced assemblers, 2 inputs, 1 output on the other side. Of course, these have no recipe at all. You have to set up your own recipe and copy and paste. But well, that's basically it. I hope these are useful for you guys. I will be updating the repository as I progress through the game. If you ever do something really cool using my blueprints, just let me know. Share a screenshot, share a video. I would really like seeing your work. And if you're doing content with my blueprints, of course, you're completely allowed. It would be nice if you can give me a shout out, but it's not like I'm going to copy strike you. You are fully free to do whatever you want with all of my blueprints. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you around.